Hello, BookTube. I have a quick MegaStuff video for you today on this fraught and tense Tuesday. That, for those of you who are new to the channel, that is just a conglomeration of little bits and pieces that wouldn't make a video on their own. A lot of booktubers in 2020 have sort of decided to make these kinds of Omnium Gatherum more conversational videos. It's been wonderful watching all of the different labels, the different creative tweaks that people do, that people add to it. But I think underneath all of those different labels, those different approaches to these kind of loose form conversational videos, I think underneath all of those different approaches is the same motivation, which is in 2020 a deepened motivation for just conversation, for just talking with each other. We already know that we like each other, and that we've long since known that that doesn't restrict itself just to books. If I like you, if I've been watching your BookTube channel forever and ever, maybe I've had Voxer conversations with you or email conversations with you, or I've sent you books. If I like you, then I want to know everything. I don't want to know just about books. I want to know if you know that pain in your knee is bothering you, or in Jason or Old Blues Chapter and Verses case, what crappy movie you're watching today. What crappy pretentious movie. Oh, these next 20 minutes are interesting. Oh, why? Did something happen? No, it's because nothing does. So that's what this is. That's what these MegaStuff videos are. They're just me nattering about things just in general. And I have 3 things just in general. You would think that one of them would be tech. I've been giving you a steady tech update on this channel. And lately, the tech updates have been all about the 2018 12.9-inch iPad Pro with the accompanying smart keyboard as a tech purchase. But I don't have a tech update on that little strand for you because I came to my senses. I came to my senses. I just bought a 2019 iPad with a smart keyboard. I just did that. I don't need in any way another new or new-ish iPad just for a form factor, for Pete's sake. It can wait. So that is out the window. No, the three MegaStuff bits that I have to share, one is very nebulous, and I don't know what will become of it or if anything will. But I'm feeling the beginning seismic tremors of a massive reorganization of my books. Any of you who have ever done that will know what that feels like. You can tell in a minute the difference between a building urge to maybe empty a bookcase and clean it, and a building urge to completely realign your book collection, to completely re-envision it. And with me, it's the latter. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm obviously not going to do anything this close to the end of 2020, but in 2021, I think a massive change is coming to my books. I don't know what it is. No idea. But I think it's coming. I think I can feel that. I look at them now and I feel that. So you will have a front row seat for all of that. Then MegaStuff bit number 2 involves NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. Another great event for November is National Novel Writing Month, in which hundreds of thousands of lunatics all over the world gather together on the NaNoWriMo website to write the beginnings of a novel, 50,000 words, in 1 month, in the month of November, by writing 1,667 words a day. A little more if you can manage it. Don't fall behind. Falling behind is deadly. And the people who do that, a great number of the people who do that, use October to prepare for NaNoWriMo. They call it Preptober, because you can't write until the stroke of midnight on the 1st of November. But you can do everything else. You can plan, you can make plot outlines, character sheets, all that, chapter outlines if you want, all that sort of stuff. And most of the time that I've done NaNoWriMo, I have done that, and it's worked just fine for me. It didn't work this year. Completely failed this year. So I went into NaNoWriMo. I'm not gonna skip NaNoWriMo. So I went into NaNoWriMo not really knowing what I was writing. In other words, pantsing. Seat of the pants writing. Where you have maybe the slightest tenuous wisp of an idea or a scene or a character or a concept of some kind, but you don't have a plot or anything like that. And you're just going to work it out as you go along. I've never actually done that in NaNoWriMo. And when I got down to 0 hour and nothing was coming, I realized I would make a virtue of necessity and just do that. So I am pantsing a story called Bear a Burning Spear, a science fiction story that is actually feeling more and more welcoming every day. I am on my word count. With NaNoWriMo, I try, if I can, to bump that 1,667 words up to 2,000 for as many of the early days as possible, figuring that that will give me a cushion and that I will need it later on. I always do. It's always a good idea to do that. Always overwrite for NaNoWriMo, because November is going to have its way with you, and you know that it is. So you might as well have a little cushion. But I've hit my word count. That word count, 2,000 words, all 3 days of November. And lo and behold, a kind of story is starting to take shape in my mind. And I admit, there is an element of exhilaration. There's an element of exhilaration in not knowing what's going to happen. I hadn't anticipated that. So one of the fringe benefits that I was hoping for by pantsing in NaNoWriMo 2020 is that it would be a new experience, that I would learn what it's like to pants and whether or not there's anything positive to be said about it. I always used to criticize it because one of the goals of NaNoWriMo, I always thought, was you want something that you can say is something. When you're done, you want something you can work on. And I always thought if you're pantsing, then you're just going to have, 30 pages of gibberish at the end. That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. If you're writing, you're not free associating like a Rorschach test. Scenes have their own internal cohesion. And you do. I've done 3 of those scenes now, and those 3 pieces of internal cohesion go on to build something bigger than themselves and to start to lean towards the next scene. Because the key to pantsing isn't that you stay pantsing the whole time. It's not like pantsers, except the really dedicated ones. It's not like pantsers are against a plot forming. They just don't have one going in. And I'm starting to realize all that now, and it's great. It's fantastic. So I'm a little bit happier about Bearer Burning Spear each time I go to it. So that's your NaNoWriMo update, is that I am pantsing for 2020, and it's actually working. At least now it is. And then we have mail. And I've got I don't know if you can see here, I've got a frantic bean on the floor. She's just... So she's going to be up for the packages. She's going to go nuts when she starts to see them. I've got a few packages of mail here. What do you think, baby? Oh, she didn't get off the floor. She wants me to put it in her mouth. All right, well, let's see here. Oh, this is a paperback release. Oh, I remember this. We got this, we got an advanced copy of this and then a finished copy of this. Look at all this paperwork. Good Lord. Okay, well, I clearly missed the ball on this one because everybody else in the world reviewed it. This is by Camille Lorenz, and it's Little Dancer, age 14. The true story behind Degas' masterpiece. And it comes with pages and pages of paperwork. This is the paperback release, which is going to be $16 in late November, in case you missed it. And what have we got here? Okay, so Ruman Alam reviewed it for The New Yorker and loved it. NPR loved it. The Wall Street Journal loved it. The New Yorker, in the briefly noted section, loved it. The Washington Post loved it. Booklist, Huffington Post, Playbill, InStyle, San Francisco Chronicle, Columbus Dispatch, Minneapolis Star-Tribune. The Minneapolis Star-Tribune, I could swear they told me they don't do book reviews. The Boston Globe, the New York Journal of Books, Library Journal, Kirkus, Book Page, Read It Forward, Tampa Bay Times. Good Lord. Okay, so 1 million people read this and loved it. And so these pages are just blurb after blurb after blurb. Okay, great. So there you have it. This is going to be out in late November. If you missed it in hardcover, you now know 2 things. You're getting a $16 paperback in late November, and everybody loved it. I don't think I actually ended up reading it, so I'm not one to talk. So let's move on here. We have 1 box at the end of all this. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right, great. We saw the advanced copy of this thing. This is At Night, All Blood is Black by David Diop. Very interesting cover. Is David Diop young? He is. He's young. Let's see here. Okay, that is all blurbs. But the book will have a description. Alpha Nyade is a Senegalese man who finds himself fighting as a so-called chocolat soldier with the French army during World War I. When his village friend Mademba Diop is mortally wounded in battle, David Diop. Mademba begs Alpha to kill him and spare him the pain of a long death in no man's land. But Alpha can't bring himself to strike down a man who is like a brother to him, and Mademba dies in agony. Faced with what he comes to see as his own cowardice and cruelty, Alpha begins to lose touch with reality. Anxious to avenge the death of his friend and find forgiveness for himself, he adopts a macabre nocturnal ritual. He sneaks across enemy lines every night to find and kill a blue-eyed German soldier, and every night he returns to base unharmed with his victim's severed hand. At first, Alpha's comrades admire his ingenuity, but rumors soon circulate that his super soldier isn't a hero but a sorcerer, a devourer of souls. Plans are hatched to get Alpha away from the front and separate him from his growing collection of hands before his apparent psychosis affects morale. But how does one reason with a demon, and how far will Alpha go to make amends to his dead friend? And this had all sorts of advanced blurbs on it. Does this also have a date? I think I may have missed the date on this one. Yeah, October 6th. This is the finished copy of a book that came out on October 6th. Oh my. All right, so I don't think I read it, the advanced copy that I got. I need to read this right away. This was on the pile for tonight. It's a tiny little thing, so it won't take any time at all. But that's bad. I should have read that by now. Let's see what this next one is. Oh, okay, great. All right, no pub sheet for this, but that's all right. This is by Menachem Kaiser, and it's called Plunder, a memoir of family property and Nazi treasure. Fantastic cover. What have we got here? The story of the author's quest to reclaim his family's apartment building in Poland, and of the astonishing entanglement with Nazi treasure hunters that follows. The author's brilliantly told story, woven from improbable events and profound revelations, is set in motion when the author takes up his Holocaust survivor grandfather's former battle to reclaim the family's apartment building in Poland. A surprise discovery that his grandfather's cousin not only survived the war but wrote a secret memoir while a slave laborer in a vast secret Nazi tunnel complex leads to the author being adopted as a virtual celebrity by a band of Silesian treasure seekers who revere the memoir as the indispensable guidebook to Nazi plunder. Propelled by rich original research, the author immerses readers in profound questions that reach far beyond his personal quest. It's like, what does it mean to seize your own property? Can reclaimed property repair rifts among the living? This book is both a deeply immersive adventure story and an irreverent, daring interrogation of inheritance. Oh my, that sounds really good. Oh, that sounds really good. All right, so this is March of 2021. So as good as it sounds, I'm not going to be reading it until the new year. But that sounds really good. And then we have this last one. This last one's a box. We'll see. Could be a finished copy. That would be nice. Finished copies are always welcome. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, my. Okay. This is the New York Review of Books. They do reprints, and this is, they do a lot of obscure reprints of books that they wish would come back into prominence. Every once in a while, like when they did Stalingrad by Vasily Grossman, or Life and Fate by Vasily Grossman, they will reprint something that is genuinely genius, a towering work. And here they've done it again. This is The Recognitions by William Gaddis. Fantastic. Oh, incredible. I have given the old mass market copy of this thing, I have given to so many people over the decades. So many people. William Gaddis has become a major figure in American literature, but the reception of his 1955 debut, The Recognitions, was far from auspicious. 53 of its 55 initial reviews were negative. The book was too long, too difficult, too depressing. 25 years later, Gaddis was vindicated when he won the National Book Award for his long-awaited follow-up, J.R. Over the years, the ambition and complexity of The Recognitions has been celebrated, and it has been cited as an influence by luminaries like Thomas Pynchon, Jonathan Franzen, David Foster Wallace, and Joseph McElroy. 2 out of 4. And on November 24th, this New York Review of Books paperback comes out. So this is going to be $20, $30, $30 paperback of The Recognitions. Nice, big, beautiful thing. At 968 pages, The Recognitions is a masterwork, massive in both size and scope. interrogating the connections between capitalism and American identity. At its center are themes of forgery and deception. Its primary characters, insofar as they can be identified, are Wyatt Guion, a painter who excels at copying the Dutch masters, and Rectal Brown, a wheeler-dealer who sells off these copies as originals for large sums. As monstrously populated as any Hieronymus Bosch painting, The Recognitions is overrun with a strange cast of characters who lose their minds and change their names in a world where reality has become meaningless. Incredible. Fantastic. Okay. I didn't know that I was going to get this. That's great. So this comes out in late November. That mass market paperback that I pushed on so many people for so many decades is long since out of print. So this is going to be your chance. $30 is egregiously overpriced, but even so, this is going to be your chance to get a new copy of The Recognitions. Fantastic. This is a great American novel, one of the great American novels of the 20th century. And contrary to what a lot of his snooty defenders have said over the years, it's also his best book. But anyway, so there we have it. That's our mail. We have The Recognitions by William Gaddis. It's going to be tough not to sink into rereading this. Then we have Plunder. A man tries to get back his family's apartment building in Poland. Then we have At Night, All Blood is Black, a piece of World War I fiction that I should have read long since. Terrible that I haven't done it. And Little Dancer, age 14, praised by the whole world. That comes out in a paperback this month. So there you have it. That is your MegaStuff video for this troubled Tuesday. So I'm going to wrap this up for now, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.